guys, this is different. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see and hear me. I'm going to try and talk really loud. Take the seatbelt off because I'm not going anywhere right now. I wanted to film this still. I was supposed to film this video earlier in the day and I just didn't want to at the time. And I'm sitting here anyway for like half an hour. So I thought, hey, why don't I just film this in the car and we'll see how it goes. So, hi, and welcome to a really casual bump date in the car. I'm actually at Costco, but I am now so pregnant and so slow that it's easier to leave me in the car and Cody go in than it is for me to go. Why did I come? For food and a hot chocolate. I wanted to go for a drive. So I still came. Is that ridiculous? Yes. Will Cody get the grocery shop done faster without me? Also, yes. So I am 38 weeks pregnant now. 38 weeks and 1 day while filming this, which is crazy. So you guys will be seeing this tomorrow. 38 weeks. That's insane. Like he'll be here in the next like 2 weeks. Absolutely crazy. I don't have my list of things, but I just wanted to talk to you guys casually because a lot has happened, honestly. And I've been very tired. If I did miss one of the Vlogmas days, I've been kind of quiet on social media. It's just because I'm tired. And this last chunk is hard on the body. And for me, especially, it's hard on the body. So let's chat about it. So prodromal labor has really started for me. If you don't know what prodromal labor is, it is a type of, it's not false labor. It's not Braxton Hicks. Braxton Hicks are like very normal tightening of the stomach, kind of like a contraction, but it's not a real contraction. It doesn't feel like a real contraction. It does nothing. It just like practices your uterus. Prodromal labor is like, can feel like real labor. It can or can't do things. So sometimes it dilates you and thins your cervix, and sometimes it does not. It just depends. It can be very easy to confuse with real labor because contractions can be timed, and they can be the duration they need to be for you to think you're going into labor, and they can be quite painful, probably equivalent to, they usually sit around early to mid-stage labor. So anyway, that's what prodromal labor is, and I had this with Grayson, so this is not new to me. But it is more intense this time, and I talked about it a little bit on my stories, and I think I've mentioned this in a couple of bump dates already, that I was starting to experience it. Well, over the weekend, it really came in full force. So I had one night where I had prodromal labor for like 4 hours, timeable contractions, decently intense. The thing with mine and how I can tell it's not real labor for me is that they don't ever stack on top of each other. My labors are quite intense and quick, so these ones just like didn't get extra painful. They just didn't go that little push. Like it was enough for me to, I have to focus on them sometimes. I have to breathe through them sometimes. They like take up my thought process, but it's not quite enough for me to call the midwife. So that's what I experienced. So I think was that Thursday or something that I had that at night for like 4 hours, and then they fizzled out and I went to sleep. And then there was one night where it was happening throughout the night too, so I really did not get a lot of sleep. And then the next day on Friday was a doozy. I had prodromal labor from like 10 a.m. until about 9 p.m. Almost 12 hours of prodromal labor. There was a couple moments where I was like, oh, this baby is coming, I think maybe. Like I've talked about how one of my fear, it's not a fear, but like I worry that because I'm so experienced with prodromal labor, I will ignore my labor if it is real for too long, and then I won't realize I'm in labor until I'm really, really about to have a baby. If my water doesn't break first, like it did with my first two. So that is still in my head. So on Friday, I had contractions that were 2 to 4 minutes apart for almost 12 hours. I was exhausted. I was so tired. It was a lot. And there was a period of time where like I really thought maybe he was coming. I wasn't sure. And then at about 9 p.m. they fizzled out, which was super frustrating. And honestly, Saturday was pretty uneventful. I've had contractions all weekend. And then yesterday I had some more in the night. And again, I had a patch of them for 1 hour, but they were actually like kind of painful. And I was like, oh, this feels like a real contraction. Okay. And they fizzled out after an hour. I just like fell asleep and they never came back and they never woke me up. But it's to the point where if I use the contracture, it's to the point where if I use that contraction timing app, it tells me like, go to the hospital now, you're in labor, go to the hospital. So yesterday was like really draining. So I think that was Saturday morning from like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. that happened, where I was getting painful ones for an hour. So yesterday I was just like having a poor mental health day. Prodromal labor really messes with my mindset. It's exhausting. It's so frustrating. And if you've never experienced it before, there's just like, you can't explain it, because it's like being in early labor and then it never going anywhere. You're just in early labor. So you have to focus on being in labor. But you don't get, it's not going to go anywhere. You don't get progression. You don't get the baby at the end. So it's draining, you guys. I just needed to vent about this because it's a lot. So I've been in talks with my midwife all weekend. We think that maybe my body is stopping things because maybe he's just slightly in a wrong position. So maybe I am going into labor and my body is stopping it because maybe his head's tilted a little bit. Maybe it's not quite right. So I ended up yesterday, I did the mile circuit and a bunch of things to get him in a really good position. And I did feel him shift, and I haven't had any huge episodes of prodromal labor since, which is a good thing because it can either like stop the prodromal labor from happening, or next time it happens, make it actually be real. So that was good. And I feel like that was productive. I feel like that helped things. So every day I've just been doing a little bit of positioning to hopefully make him be in the best position as possible, so that when he decides it's time, he's in a really good position. Because if you don't know, Grayson was a huge baby, but he also came out sideways because he just descended so quickly. So I wonder if maybe that's why I had prodromal labor for so long and why he was so late, if maybe he was just in a bad position and I hadn't gotten him in a good one. So I'm really focusing now on just getting this baby in a really good position. I feel like he dropped today. I definitely have more space, and I feel like he's lower. Like I felt a really weird movement today, and it was like instantly like, whew, weird. So I don't know. I'm still not like gonna be like, oh yeah, he's for sure coming before his due date, because I've never had a baby before my due date. But the way my body feels and the way I've been feeling, I don't know if we're getting to the due date. I don't know. I would maybe be surprised. And honestly, if I keep having prodromal labor that keeps me up all night, and stops me from sleeping, I don't know. I might do some things to encourage him along, because it's just not healthy for me mentally to do that every night and to not sleep. Like I just can't turn into a shell of a human. I can't do that. So anyway, that's a big update. That's mostly what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Besides that, like I'm feeling normal. We don't need to talk about like cravings and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm still feeling good, you guys. I'm still, as a whole, as a person who is 9 months pregnant, right on the cusp of my due date, I am feeling really good. I'm not having SPD pain, which is good. It's just the contractions and the prodromal labor is just really tough mentally, because it's just so frustrating. Because I'm like, okay, are we going, like, it just feels like I'm on edge all the time. I know that when things kick into high gear, I have to call everybody really fast. We have to prepare really fast. This is going to be a quick birth, and we have to be ready for that. And so it's just stressful. It's mentally draining. It's exhausting, and it's hard to be patient when you're like going through labor and it not going anywhere. So that's been tough. I really hope that it just kind of doesn't happen anymore, or it's more mild. Like, I'm still having contractions frequently through the day, but they're just easy, normal, whatever. I can like ignore them. I'm just hoping that, yeah, we got him in a good position, and now he can come whenever. So we're just like ready now, doing a big Costco trip again to make sure we have groceries in the house constantly. And we're just ready for him. So I don't know, at this point he could come at any time. If he was in a weird position and that was my body stopping labor, then getting him in a better position should theoretically make him come the next time these start. So yeah, about that. I don't know if that interrupted me or not. I just got a phone call, but yeah, that's an update about what's been going on. Yeah, besides that, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like very pregnant. Walking is getting harder. Walking is harder today, which is another reason I think maybe he dropped or has just descended further. Just because I can really feel him in my pelvis now. Like, it feels like an uncomfortable little bowling ball now. Dilation is happening, effacement is happening. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think I did in the last one or something. My midwife last pregnancy taught me and helped empower me to check my own cervix, which has been super helpful. Honestly, I think that's why I've stayed so calm during all this prodromal labor, is because I can confidently check my own cervix. I can check to see if it's dilating me. So that makes me feel better, because I'm like, okay, when I'm having contractions, I can check to see if it's progressing me a lot. And that's how I can know to like, okay, it's time to call the midwife because this is progressing me. Or okay, we're gonna do contraction labor, and my water's not gonna break first. At least I have something to go off of at home, because the last thing I want to do is call the midwife all the way to my house, call Cody home from work, do all that, and have all that pressure and have it fizzle out. Like, that would make me feel so awful, like so defeated. That would just suck so bad. And I know it happens. There's nothing wrong with, like, people go into the hospital and it's false or whatever all the time. I just don't want that. So that's been really, really helpful. But yeah, besides that, we're just going. We're going strong. I'm feeling good. I've gotten more sleep the last 2 nights. I've gotten really good sleeps. So that's been really relieving. Like, since the one long day with prodromal labor, I had a really good sleep because I was super exhausted, and then I did mile circuit on Sunday, and then I slept really well that night. So I'm like feeling pretty good today. Like, I have more energy today. I woke up with a more positive attitude. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get stuff done. I'm going to stick to my normal routine. I'm gonna film my videos. I'm going to edit. I'm gonna like clean my house. I'm gonna do my normal stuff, because that's what's hardest for me is during this prodromal labor. I'm just like, come on, go into labor, and it's really hard for me to focus on my normal mundane stuff. Like, that stuff becomes really cumbersome and really hard for my brain to just like want to do. So yeah, today, like, better attitude today. It's been good. And who knows if, like, again, I think if this is gonna go on for weeks, I won't let it go on for weeks. I think I've decided that it's just too much. It's not like, it's not good for me. I had prenatal depression with Grayson in my last month, and this is why, because I went to 41 weeks and 3 days, and it really affected me, and it instantly disappeared the minute I had him. But I just don't want to do that to my family and my kids, myself. So we're far enough along now that if this is going to become a thing, we're gonna like help this baby come along as much as we can. Or it could just be done, and I could just keep him in a good position, and I could still have him sometime around my due date. Who knows? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this really casual, weird little car update for Baby Bump Day, for a bump date. I'm gonna say goodbye to you now, and then I'll just show you my belly when I get home, and we'll cut to the end, and you guys can tell me if you think it looks any lower, because your third baby, especially after your first, your baby can like drop and then come back up, and drop and come back up. So he could already be up, he could stay down, I don't know, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching, you guys, and we'll see you in my next one. Bye. Maybe we'll see if we see you in the next one. Okay, coming at you the next day. Show you the bump. My belly was already out, so here we are. We're just at that point now. Large, in charge. Oh, hold on. I don't know. Does it look lower? I feel lower. Not sure. Okay, bye guys.